All right, for your upper body TRX routine, you're gonna start with the strap fully shortened, and the first move is gonna be a row. Always get into a straight plank, and then a reverse plank, and then shoulders pulled down, and getting that spine in line with hips, and then pulling from those elbows. Common problem I see, or a common issue I see with people is they'll pull too far where their hands go past their chest. Always keep your hands just right in front of your chest and pull from those elbows. Squeezing that mid to upper back. Okay, you're gonna switch the strap down or lower it down to mid-length, right in the middle. And your next move is gonna be a Y and a T. For the Y, you're going up high and wide with those hands. For the T, you're going middle. And you kind of end up pulling with your hands a little bit more, but still a similar concept applies. As if you're pulling from that elbow, you have a tendency to squeeze your back a little bit harder and reduce that tension at those forearms, which is your back circuit here. So we're trying to focus on those back muscles, just squeezing upper and mid back. Always inhaling down and then exhaling and pulling on all of these. For your chest circuit, you're going fully lengthened all the way long and facing away from that anchor, which is the yellow strap or the yellow part at the top. And this is a upper or a progression exercise here is the archer press. You can also just do a regular press. What you see one hand doing is just lowering down into that 90-degree position. So you can do both arms that way. The archer press is a little bit more of a progression where you just slide that one hand out as you're lowering, like kind of like a fly. And that hand is gonna go right in line with that shoulder. And then you're squeezing that chest in and pushing with the other hand. Always here, remember now you're in a regular plank position. Spine in line with hips, you can get a wide stance to get those glutes in there and feel a little bit more stable. Your next move is an overhead press, so then you're staying at the bottom. The elbows are bent to a 90 degrees, and then you're just pushing overhead. I kind of like to think on the way down like I'm pulling my shoulder blades back in, kind of like a lat pull down. And that way you have a strong base for your shoulder press. And just going up overhead. Exhale as you're pressing up, keeping that core nice and tight. And for your arms and shoulders, you're going back to mid-length. And your first move is going to be a face pull. So you can slow it down from what I'm doing a little bit, but just remember you're pulling that elbows back and then bringing your hands up, so you do get a little bit of hands in this. And what happens here is your shoulder blades kind of squeeze together. You're getting external rotation of your shoulders. So it does kind of start with a row to squeeze your back initially, and then your shoulders rotate up so that those hands pull back. And you should feel this kind of right on the outside of the bottom of your shoulder. For all these reps, they're timed 45 seconds. You can go slower, can go faster. It doesn't matter how many reps that you get, as long as you have good form and good muscle contraction through each rep. Okay, now last one is a little tricky. It's a bicep and tricep alternator. You can do each side instead of switching hands like I'm doing. I think the hand switching is kind of fun. One hand is going to be underhand, and that's going to be your bicep curl, while the other hand is going to be overhand or palm facing down to the ground. And with that palm facing down, you're going to push your hand to your hip, while the other hand is bicep curling. The only difference here with the bicep curl is it's higher than normal. So if you notice, my elbow gets in line with my shoulder, and that puts that shoulder into a little bit of flexion and makes your bicep work a little bit harder. Wide stance is always good here because it helps kind of get a strong, stable base to go off of. Keep that shoulders back and spine in line with hips through the whole movement. Exhaling as you're curling and pressing. And that is your upper body TRX routine.